Hello, I'm Harry.
Harry Styles is one of the biggest British pop stars as well as one of the richest, trailing just behind Ed Sheeran. Recently, he was spotted vacationing with Adele, who's almost unrecognizable but still looks great. Before you get excited about a new couple, the two have been friends for years, so I wouldn't make any assumptions. At the time of this recording, Harry is 25 years old, and another thing the public has been making assumptions about lately is his sexuality. I guess laying low for a while and then coming back with some new music and wearing dresses or pearl earrings from time to time kind of threw fans off.
When you strip people down to basic human instinct, I think you get a lot of truth and a lot of natural reactions from people.
In an interview with The Guardian addressing whether he's bisexual or not, he said, "It's not a case of I'm not telling you because I don't want to tell you. It's not, ooh, this is mine and it's not yours. It's who cares. Does that make sense? It's just who cares." So I guess that's all we know at the moment, but Harry has been rocking some cute nail polish. Harry has come a long way since being discovered on the X Factor back in 2010 and being in the boy band which brought him fame, One Direction. Now he has over 25 million followers on Instagram and he's a singer, songwriter, and actor. As you probably know, Harry's been a solo artist for some time now, and his second album, Fine Line, released in 2019, actually broke the record of biggest sales debut from an English male artist in the US. And like I mentioned, Harry is one of the richest British pop stars at the moment. His estimated net worth is around $75 million. That being said, today we won't be talking about Harry's sexuality, personal life, or any of that. Instead, we're going to focus on the properties Harry spends all that money. An idea, Harry's childhood home is located in Holmes Chapel, Cheshire in England. He still goes back to visit his hometown pretty often, even up until this day. Tried West Coast living for a while and gave into Hollywood, but that didn't last too long before he returned to his roots. The mansion was located in the Hollywood Hills in what was called the most prime section above the Sunset Strip. Even though he listed the home for almost $8.5 million, he couldn't sell it for that price despite the renos he put into it. Harry lowered the price, but it didn't end up selling until 2019. It was 4,401 square feet and had 4 beds and 6 baths. Some features of Harry's Hollywood home included a penthouse-level master suite, a home movie theater, a fitness center, chef's kitchen, floor-to-ceiling windows in the living and dining area, and more. Outside Harry's home, there were a few terraces, one being on the roof with a fire pit, as well as a beautiful pool and spa. Bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, and spans just under 3,000 square feet. The building offers a ton of great features aside from the views of NYC, like a gorgeous pool and extra security and privacy away from the paparazzi. Looking at the listing pics of Harry's NYC penthouse, you can see that there are finishes like exposed beams and aged brass fixtures, which are very Tribeca. I'm not sure how often Harry even stays in New York, but at least when he does, he has a gorgeous penthouse to call home. And it's just a few blocks away from his ex Taylor. Harry reportedly purchased his first London bachelor pad, which he still owns as far as we know, and back then they called it Harry's Party Palace. Paid almost $5 million for the large home located in the North London area of Hampstead Heath, which at the time was a half-urban neighborhood. Harry's first London property clocks in at 2,300 square feet and has 4 beds and 3 baths, which are spread across 3 floors. There haven't been many photos of the place since Harry moved in, but it was his first house purchase on his own. Prior to this London home, Harry and his former One Direction bandmates were apparently renting a 5-level unit at the Princess. Another property Harry is said to own in London is a slight upgrade from his first purchase. In 2016, sources said that Harry had bought himself a pretty expensive birthday present, a penthouse in one of England's more lavish development buildings. The Battersea Power Station is a redesigned and repurposed electricity plant, and of course the condos they created in the building are one of a kind. It's located right on the River Thames, so of course Harry has some gorgeous waterfront views. The Battersea buildings all have access to a private garden that resembles a London square, and each singular home has their own winter garden or terrace as well. We don't know many details about Harry's penthouse, but we do know that he paid an estimated $28 million for the place, so you can guess that it's Harry's updated his London real estate portfolio yet again, dropping almost $10.5 million US on a Georgian-style semi-home. This pad is definitely mansion-sized, complete with 5 bedrooms and plenty of space. Furnishings are Liberace-inspired, and many of the rooms give out a homely vibe. Harry's new London mansion has a white stucco design, and the previous owners decorated much of the interior in a faux Regency style with a ton of chandeliers and similar dramatic fixings. The grand sitting room, which we'd probably just call the living room, room offers floor-to-ceiling windows and leads into the large dining room. You'll also see the curved staircase which takes you to all of the first floor bedrooms in the more pictures I could find of Mr. Styles' homes, especially for his new one in London. Although Harry hasn't always had the best luck in real estate, considering he lost a couple million selling his LA house, he still made some good investments. I guess Harry doesn't like Hollywood as much as some other celebs because despite the gorgeous house he owned there, he didn't live in it very long. Most of his homes that we know about remain in England, and he still loves to go back to his hometown too. As far as we know, Harry owns a luxury penthouse in NYC, while the rest of his spots are in London. I would assume he's been staying at his latest $10 million London mansion he bought last year, since I also heard he rents out his original home from time to time. Tried West Coast living for a while and gave into Hollywood, but that didn't last too long before he returned to his roots.